had a good long chat with my friend Ashley, who is one of the other team members collaborating on the project, and we talked a lot about narrative ideas, character ideas, and some bit about gameplay mechanics, but it's more of a brainstorming kind of brainstorming narrative, and we kind of formed something kind of cohesive. And I've got a few recordings of that, which I'll just play now.
There are rules. Yeah. But sometimes we can decide that those rules don't work for me. Yeah. Yeah. So because obviously not everybody can have everything. Yeah. Because there isn't enough oysters to go around. There aren't enough Lamborghinis to go around, really. Not everybody can have a Lamborghini race. It's not possible.
Yeah. It's not the question of resources.
So therefore, there have to be rules.
Resources.
There has to be sort of state control, right?
Yeah.
And the state there is to basically try and distribute, this kind of stuff, in a way that stops things like revolution happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they keep getting people to agree that these are the rules, aren't they? Yeah. So the first they say, right, your name is Chris, right? Is your name Chris?
Well, that's the name my parents assigned me, so yeah.
So you've agreed to that, have you?
No. Of course I haven't.
Well, I think you have, because
I just got used to it.
Chris, can you pass me the water, please? Yeah. So you obviously have agreed to it, because you passed me the water when I called you Chris. Ah. And that was a control issue. Ah. So
shit,
the thing is,
clever
right,
man.
Clever man, right? So the thing is, right, that basically we are basically conditioned, to follow rules. The first being that we accept the name that we've been given, yeah. And then people can basically order us about, or get our attention, or get us to do things, simply by calling us by that name, because we respond to it, don't we?
Yeah. I didn't even think about that you were setting up conditions of a test. I just thought, well, I didn't think that's the point, isn't it?
Well, it's very hard to refuse in somebody's own home if they say to you, "Can you pass me the water, please?"
Yeah.
I mean, look at the language. Can you pass me the water, please?
Yeah.
Chris, can you pass me the water, please? Right.
Yeah.
So the whole point about that is that you've been conditioned, to he's using polite language. If I say no to him now, it's like, well, I've got to give him a reason for that. Yeah. That's going to expend a lot of energy. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And really, is it that necessary? No. And anyway, he's going to then lay a guilt trip on me and say, "Oh, you're really ungrateful." There's a whole fucking mind trip. Do you know what I mean? It's laid out.
Which is all just going on subconsciously, isn't it?
Absolutely, it's all going on all the time long. So, being a human being is basically learning a set of fucking rules. Do you know what I mean? And following it. Yeah. That's what. That's the basics. Yeah. And when you're there with your parents, you're sitting at the kitchen table and they say, get your fucking hands off the table, or can you?
Oh shit! Oh no!
See what I mean? That's why I fucking hate it when she's on there, because she has to come and stop to hear her own thoughts for the first time. See that the rat manipulated or even told things, what to do. Right?
Yeah.
And then suddenly, right, you can think. You know what I mean? So suddenly there's a script up there, and the rat thinking, what am I? Human feet, and suddenly the things changed.
Yeah.
Suddenly, and you start to think, well, maybe I should look around. Maybe I should explore this area a bit.
Yeah.
Maybe I should tell some other rats about this thing.
Yeah, like.
So I don't know where this is going, but eventually, right, what happens is that the rat.
We start flashbacks. You were talking about flashbacks before. That'd be really interesting.
Yeah.
To implement. Right. I mean, you could even do. And look at it from the technical perspective, I'm sure you could do some way of embedding a video or file or something like that.
What you need to do is the flashback is a good story, because in the flashback story, what you've got is got basically somebody gets accused of a crime upstairs, someone, right? And what's happened is the most ruthless, violent, and really strong criminals are made the weakest characters in the maze. But the most weak and sort of silly, petty, rather dumb kind of criminals are kind of made the most powerful in the maze.
It's like a twist turning it on its head, isn't it?
Because that's prison control.
Yeah. So then you find out as you go along in the game that you're really some kind of heinous murderer or something, or you've done some really heinous crime.
Yeah, the real heinous ones are like the little rats.
So because you're like this ultimate underdog. So you go through the whole game thinking like, oh, I'm just an underdog. I'm kind of better than the other rats. I'm kind of not as bad. But then you find out
actually that in the real world, you're a fucking master criminal.
Yeah, like a murderer or something, like a real bastard. Yeah.
No, you're right at the top. You could be a middle class criminal, right?
That'd be a real subversive way of twisting it.
You could be sort of, kind of Bill Gates of the sort of city or something. Like a real kind of like somebody who's shifting. Been I don't know. Do you know what I mean? You could be some sort of real big guy. The environment to hold what I've just said.
Yeah.
Is several weeks' work. Yeah.
Well, it's going to be a case of like, you have to decide what are the most important things to get working first. Because a lot, I mean, obviously, as part of the process, you're going to have to cut things out or not include everything. Because there's a lot of those things you just said will lead to an incredibly complex game in a way. So it's just about, once you've kind of got the narrative set up, which you kind of
work on the first
started doing now, yes.
You work on the first part of it, which is basically the rats going for a feed. That would be good. Hmm?
Yeah, well, all the rats kind of rushing in, it gives you that idea of the
And then what I would do if I was you, initially, is I would only make 4 kinds of rats.
Yeah.
Super ones, all the way down to, the skinny ones.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot to work with there. I really like the idea of the hero, the kind of, not the archetypal hero, but then he's actually a real, his actual identity is that of a, bastard human who's done some really bad shit who's on like this prison planet or some shit. Oh, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. Well, that was a prison planet with some aliens. That was really good.
Alien free.
We had massive mazes in that.
Yeah.
And again, it was all about shutting out the aliens.
Yeah. I don't think
they run around through the thing. It's brilliant. And at the end,
that would be a good one to draw from it and some inspiration. I mean, even though it's not the best alien film by quite a while, but
when I first started about this, I thought about the London sewers. So these rats think they're in the London sewers.
Yeah.
They don't think they're in a prison. So that would be interesting because you need to sort of look at rat environments and rat communities.
Yeah.
If I had the time, which I don't, unfortunately, I would read now Frank Herbert's Rats. I've always wanted to read that.
Yeah.
It was a big hit in the 70s, in the
Frank
80s.
Herbert?
No, James Herbert.
James Herbert, yeah. Oi, come on.
And it's very, very successful, there. You made a lot of money on that book.